Dear students, I have taught you about the geometrical meaning of dy by dx in the earlier session. So, after completing the differential calculus part, we have started the application of the derivatives. As an introduction to that chapter, I taught you about the geometrical application of geometrical meaning of dy by dx. So, what does dy by dx stand for? It stands for the slope of the tangent. So, whenever you differentiate a function and get the value of dy by dx at a particular point, the coordinates of the point would be given to you. When you substitute for x and y those values which have been given to you, you get a real number. So, that number is nothing but the slope of the tangent. Okay. Now, that when you take the reciprocal of that one, change the sign, we get the slope of the normal. So, normal is a straight line perpendicular to the tangent drawn at the point of contact to the curve here. And one more information I had given you, that is, if dy by dx equal to 0, as a particular case, if dy by dx becomes 0, then the tangent would be parallel to the x-axis. Similarly, if dy by dx is infinite or it gets 0 in the denominator, then the tangent would be either, we can say, either parallel to the y-axis or perpendicular to the x-axis. So, this information you have to remember to solve problems here. So, I told you in this particular topic, that is what I am starting is the first application, that is tangents and normals. Okay. So, in this one we are going to work out 3 types of problems. First one, to find the slope of the tangent or the normal. The second one, given some condition to find the points on the curve. Finding the point means it is nothing but finding the coordinates of the point given some condition, like tangent is parallel to the x-axis or tangent is parallel to a given line, some condition would be given. The third type of problem is you have to get the equations of tangent and normal, both of them, when the curve is given and also the point would be given. So, these are the 3 types of problems we are going to work out. Usually the problems can be expected for either 1, 2 or 3 mark question. Now, the first problem is find the slope of the tangent. So, here only the problems I am working, problems on tangents and normals. Okay, problems on tangents and normals. First problem is find the slope of the tangent to the curve. Find the slope of the tangent. Find the slope of the tangent to the curve, y is equal to x minus 1 over x minus 2, x not equal to 2, at the point x is equal to 10. So, this can be expected for a 1 mark question. Here the point would be given, the curve would be given. So, it is in the form of a quotient. As soon as the function is given, first thing is you have to differentiate. So, differentiation, because it is in the form of a quotient, you have to apply the quotient rule, and see, one condition is given, x minus 2 is in the denominator. So, x cannot take the value 2. So, any other real value it can take here. Now, we have to apply the quotient rule here. Therefore, dy by dx would be equal to, dy by dx would be equal to, apply the quotient rule here. This is denominator, that is x minus 2 into the derivative of the numerator is 1 here, minus the numerator, that is x minus 1 into the derivative of the denominator is also 1. Okay, divided by the square of the denominator, that is x minus 2 the whole square. Now, let us simplify the numerator, x minus 2 into 1, then minus x, minus of minus, plus 1 divided by x minus 2 the whole square. So, x and x, they are cancelled. What is remaining? Minus 1 divided by x minus 2 the whole square. This is dy by dx, the derivative of the function. But we want the slope of the tangent. So, when you have to get the value of dy by dx at what point? Here the value of x is directly given, because the dy by dx is involving only the variable x. So, how do you write this one? Dy by dx, write it like this, at x is equal to 10. Suppose a point is given, then you have to write as the coordinates of the point, say 3, 1, 4, 7, like that. So this would be equal to minus 1, wherever x is there, write the value 10 minus 2, the whole square. What is 10 minus 2? It is 8 square, hence it is equal to minus 1 by 64. Now I have asked you to find the slope of the tangent. So how do you write the answer here? The answer should be written as, therefore the slope of the tangent. Therefore the slope of the tangent is minus 1 by 64. It is given, it is expected only for a 1 mark question. Though for 1 mark the calculation is more, you cannot cut short the steps here. These calculations have to be shown. See, don't do the calculation elsewhere and write only the value. Even for 1 mark question, the calculation should be shown on the main sheet only. So the slope of the tangent is minus 1 by 64. Now let us move on to the next problem. In the next problem also the same thing, you have to get the slope of the tangent only. Find the slope of the tangent to the curve y is equal to x cube minus x plus 1. Find the slope of the tangent to the curve y equal to x cube minus x plus 1 at that point whose x coordinate is 2. At that point whose x coordinate is 2. See, in the previous problem I had directly given x equal to 10. Here the same thing, but it has been given in a sentence. That's the difference, where at that point where the x coordinate is 0, x coordinate is 2. That means it is x is equal to 2. That is the meaning of that one. Okay. Now as usual you do the differentiation. Now it is a polynomial function. Dy by dx would be x cube becomes 3x square and x is 1. So it is 3x square minus 1, 1 being a constant becomes 0. Now at this point we have to calculate, that is dy by dx at x is equal to 2. That is, you write wherever 2x is there, write the value, or you can write one more step, 3x square minus 1 at x equal to 2 also, or directly you can write the value 3 into 2 square minus 1, 2 square is 4, 4 3s are 12 minus 1, that would be equal to 11. So how do you write the answer now? Just take the previous problem. Therefore the slope of the tangent is equal to 11. So make it a habit to write the answer in a sentence if it is given in that particular form. So write the answer, therefore slope of the tangent is equal to 11. So whenever the slope of the tangent is given, is asked in the problem, first you do the differentiation. After differentiating, you write the values of x and y. Suppose the derivative involves y also. Here of course I have taken quite simple functions here. Sometimes now if it is an implicit function, then you will be having y also in the derivative. In that case now they will be giving at the point. So the coordinates of both the coordinates would be given, like 1 comma 2, 3 comma minus 4, something would be given. So for x and y of the derivative, substitute the value, simplify, you get a real number. That would be the slope of the tangent. So whenever you differentiate, get the value dy by dx at a point, that always gives you the slope of the tangent. The next problem is, find the slope of the normal. Find the slope of the normal. Find the slope of the normal to the curve x is equal to a into cos cube theta, y is equal to a into sin cube theta at theta is equal to pi by 4. I hope you remember this one. What type of function is this one? Both x and y are expressed in terms of another variable. So another variable is called as the parameter. Such functions are known as parametric functions. That's the last type of function I taught in the earlier sessions. So here you have to, both x and y have to be differentiated with respect to theta, that is the third variable or the parameter, and then dividing one by the other, that is dividing dy by d theta by dx by d theta, we get dy by dx. So here I am not asking you to find the slope of the tangent, it is the slope of the normal. But when you differentiate, get the value, that always gives you the slope of the tangent, isn't it? So to get the slope of the normal, what you have to do? You have to take the reciprocal of the number and you have to change the sign. If this is negative, what we get here? You have to make it positive. If this is positive, that has to be taken as negative, because I told you in the earlier session, that is the product of, if two lines are perpendicular to each other, the product of their slopes would be -1. So, and the tangent and normal being perpendicular to each other, when you take the product of their slopes, no, the product should be equal to -1. So, if the slope of one is m, the other would be -1 by m, so that when you multiply them, no, you get the product to be equal to -1. Okay. Now, here first let me differentiate. So, differentiate both x and y with respect to theta. So, it is dx by d theta, first one, a being a constant, write as it is. Now, cos cube theta, what type of function is it? It is a composite function. If that were to be cos theta, then it would be a simple function. Cos cube means it is a composite function. So, what rule has to be applied? You have to apply the chain rule. First take that power 3 into consideration. So, cos cube becomes 3 cos square theta, like x cube becomes 3x square, cos cube becomes 3 cos square theta. But cos theta, the base being the function of theta, again has to be differentiated, which is minus sin theta. Write it as it is. Now, similarly, differentiate y with respect to theta. Same procedure, here also write a as it is. Now, sin cube theta, again sin theta, it is a simple function. Sin cube theta, it is a composite function. Apply the chain rule. So, 3 into sin square theta. Okay. For sin theta, it is cos theta. So, we differentiated both x and y with respect to theta, the parameter. Now, to get the value of dy by dx, this is a formula you have learned. It is dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. Divide this quantity by the other one. Let me write the values. It is 3 into a into sin square theta into cos theta. Whole thing divided by, we have a minus sign, minus 3 into a into cos square theta into sin theta. So, I have written the values as they are. Now, let me do the simplification. 3a are cancelled, and 1 sin theta you can cancel, 1 cos theta you can cancel. Let me see what is remaining. Minus sign is there. Another sin theta is in the numerator, and denominator we are having cos theta. So, what is that one? It is minus of tan theta. So, this is the slope of the dy by dx we have got as minus tan theta. Now, at what point you have to calculate? The value of theta has been given. See, in the earlier two problems, I had given you at x equal to 10, x equal to 2, like that. X value was given. Now, here, because theta is the variable with respect to which we have differentiated, with the value of theta has been given to us. Therefore, you write dy by dx, write like this, at theta is equal to pi by 4. How do you read this one? Dy by dx at theta equal to pi by 4. That is the procedure, is equal to minus tan theta. So, theta, how do you replace it? It is tan of pi by 4. Pi by 4 means it is 45 degrees. Tan 45, it is a standard value. What's the value? It is minus 1. So, dy by dx at theta is equal to pi by 4, we got the value minus 1. But I have told you dy by dx, the value is always the slope of the tangent. So, write here, that is the slope of the tangent. That is, the slope of the tangent is equal to minus 1. But I have asked you to find the slope of the normal. Since tangent and normal are perpendicular to each other, the slope of the normal would be the reciprocal of this one. For one, reciprocal is 1 only, isn't it? And then if this is minus, that would be plus. So that when you take the product, minus 1 into plus 1, you will be getting the product to be equal to minus 1, isn't it? So this is the procedure. So if they ask you to find the slope of the tangent, directly you get the answer. As soon as you do the differentiation and write the values for x and y, which have been given in the problem, you get some real number, that is a slope of the tangent. So if you are asked to find the slope of the normal, then you, after getting the slope of the tangent, because as soon as you differentiate, you always get the slope of the tangent. To get the slope of the normal, take the reciprocal. Here of course it was easier, I got minus 1. Suppose I had got minus 1 by 3. Then take the reciprocal. So reciprocal would be 3. If this is minus, this would be plus. Suppose this were to be positive, this would become negative. So read the question correctly, because for a 1 mark question, again if it is asked, usually these are 1 mark questions only, and if you write only the slope of the tangent, you will not be getting any mark, because in mathematics we don't allot half mark here. So you have to be careful about the problem that has to be copied properly. Now let me consider another problem where again I am getting the slope of the normal. I am interested in finding the slope of the normal. Here also I am giving you a parametric function. So find the slope of the normal to the curve x is equal to 1 minus a into sin theta and y is equal to b into cos square theta at theta is equal to pi by 2. So here also I am calculating the slope of the normal. So you have to get the slope of the normal. Find the slope of the normal for the curve or for the function x is equal to 1 minus a into sin theta, y is equal to b into cos square theta. So again I have given you a parametric function. What is the parameter here? The parameter being theta, whose value has been given to you. The same procedure, differentiate both x and y with respect to theta, divide one by the other, get the value of dy by dx. So let us write that one. Dx by d theta, dx by d theta, for one it is 0, I am differentiating with respect to theta here, minus a into sin theta becomes cos theta. Therefore, dx by d theta, I can write it as minus a times cos theta. Okay, first one. Now similarly, differentiate the other variable. dy by d theta is, keep that b as it is, don't apply the product rule because a is a constant, b is a constant here. Now cos square theta, again it is a composite function. So what you have to do? You have to apply the chain rule. Cos square theta becomes 2 cos theta, like x square becomes 2x, but cos theta is minus sin theta. So it is a combination of 2. The base is a trigonometric function, the power we take it as an algebraic function. Therefore, we have minus 2b into cos theta into sin theta. Now, this is the value of dy by d theta. But what do we want here? Dy by dx. So, write dy by dx equal to dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. Dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. Carefully write. See, this has to go to the numerator, this to the denominator. So, this would be equal to minus 2b into cos theta into sin theta divided by minus a into sin theta. Sorry, a into cos theta. This is cos theta. A into cos theta. Now, let us do the cancellation. First we cancel the minus sign. Then cos theta can also be cancelled. What is remaining? 2b by a being a constant remains as it is, and that is multiplied by sin theta. So dy by dx is here 2b by a into sin theta. Now to know the slope, we have to give the value for theta. At what point? Theta has taken the value pi by 2. So write this one, dy by dx at theta is equal to pi by 2, write the constant as it is, 2b by a into, for theta, what do you write? It is sine of pi by 2. Pi by 2 means 90 degree. Sine 90 being a standard value is equal to 1. So that is 2b by a into 1, because we know that sine 90 has got the value 1. Now you know that I am telling you repeatedly, whenever we differentiate, get the value of dy by dx, that always gives you the slope of the tangent. Therefore, you write like this, that is slope of the tangent is equal to 2b by a. But what do you want? Only if the slope of the tangent is asked, you can stop here. But what I have asked you to find out, you have to get the slope of the normal, right? Therefore, the slope of the normal, what is the procedure I have told you? First write the reciprocal. Reciprocal means numerator, denominator, they have to be interchanged. So it becomes a by 2b. Now you have to change the sign. This is plus and this becomes minus. So what is the slope of the normal here? It is minus a divided by 2b. So if you stop here, you will be getting only the slope of the tangent. From that one, you can get the slope of the normal, which would be equal to minus a by 2b. Of course, it would be some condition would be given b. Here of course, whatever may be the values of a and b, that value holds good here, because the slope is always the tangent ratio. And tangent, what is the range of that one? Minus infinity to plus infinity. So any value can be accepted. Now, these are usually asked for a 1 mark question, to find the slope of the tangent or slope of the normal. Though for the slope of the normal, you have to do one extra step here, even that is also asked for a 1 mark question only. So as soon as a function is given, first you do the differentiation. Okay, you differentiate and then substitute the values of x and y when a point is given, or sometimes only x is given, or in the parametric function, if the value of theta is given, then you can get the value of dy by dx. So if the slope of the tangent is asked in the problem, then you stop there and write the answer as slope of the tangent equal to whatever number has been calculated. Suppose they ask you to find the slope of the normal. So next one more step you have to write. Take the reciprocal of the slope of the tangent and change the sign. Don't forget, because in the 1 mark question, even if the sign is wrong, you don't get the marks for that one. So do the calculation carefully. Of course, when a parametric function is given, the calculation is more naturally. Even then generally, this such problems have been asked for a 1 mark question. Now, in the next problem, what I am going to work out, it can be expected for a 2 mark question. I told you already in the beginning of this session also. See here, for a 2 mark question, usually the question would be asked like this. Find the points or point on the curve at which the tangent would be either parallel to the x-axis or parallel to the y-axis or parallel to some given line, or some condition would be given. So here, that is, when a curve is given, find the point or find the points. What exactly is the meaning of finding the point? Finding the point means you have to get the coordinates of the point. That is the meaning of finding a point. Means that point is always represented with the help of 2 quantities, which we call them as coordinates. So we have to get the coordinates of the point. So finding a point is nothing but calculation of both the coordinates of the point. Both x and y have to be calculated. Some condition would be given. So depending upon the condition, that's why I had given as a note. I had mentioned as a note, if dy by dx is equal to 0, then the tangent is parallel to the x-axis. If dy by dx is equal to infinity, tangent is parallel to the y-axis, or you can take perpendicular to the x-axis. Sometimes it would be parallel to some other given line. Now again that I mentioned in the previous session, if two lines are parallel, their slopes would be equal. So when you are discussing about the slope of the normal and tangent being perpendicular to each other, the condition for two perpendicular lines is the product of their slopes would be equal to -1. If the lines are parallel, their slopes would be equal. So using that condition, parallel to x-axis means dy by dx can be taken as 0. So parallel to some other line means you have to take the slope of that line, you have to equate it to dy by dx. With the help of that one, you can get the values of x and y. When you know the values of x, now you will be getting the values of y, then you will be getting both the coordinates of whatever may be the points that have been asked in the problem. Sometimes there may be one point, sometimes there may be more than one point. So that the type of problem I am going to work out. This is usually given for a 2-mark question. Okay. Find the points on the curve. Find the points on the curve y is equal to x cube minus 3x square minus 9x plus 7. So it is a polynomial function. Find the points on the curve y equal to x cube minus 3x square minus 9x plus 7 at which the tangents are parallel to the x-axis See, usually whenever a formula is derived or taught to you directly, whatever information connected with that one will be given as a note. Note means whatever information given, they are all important information. That is why we just write it as note and mention that one. You have to remember, you have to read all those notes and remember this one, because that with the help of that note only we will be working out some problems. So whatever notes is given or note below, something would be given below a particular derivation or below a particular topic. All of them, they are important information. That is why especially we write it as a note. You have to note those things and you have to remember those things. Now here find the points that tells that there would be more than one point on the curve. So let us assume that, see, this is some curve like this. You need to draw the graph here. Now let us assume this is the x-axis. What's the condition given here? You have to get the points. There may be one point here, some point here, there may be some point. At these points, suppose you draw the tangents, no? You observe that, suppose the curve is like this, if you draw a tangent, or there may be one more point. You observe the tangents drawn at all these points, no? They are parallel to the x-axis. So if the dy by dx equal to 0, that's a note I had given you, I had mentioned. If dy by dx equal to 0, the tangent is parallel to the x-axis. Now it is given that the tangents are parallel to the x-axis. That means that at these points, no, dy by dx would be equal to 0. So that is not directly given. So that is why in that note, no, if dy by dx 0, tangents are parallel. Conversely, if the tangents are parallel, dy by dx equal to 0. Both ways you can use the result here. Suppose you get dy by dx equal to 0. How do you write the conclusion? Therefore, the tangent is parallel to the x-axis. But here it is given that the tangent is parallel to the x-axis. So what you can take? You can take dy by dx to be equal to 0. So, okay, because our aim is to find the points. What do you mean by finding the points? At this point, what are the coordinates? At this point, what are the coordinates? At this point, what are the coordinates? So coordinates means both x and y coordinates we have to calculate. So more than one point, because find the points they have asked in the problem. So first step is, as usual, we have to differentiate the function, isn't it? See, because after we get dy by dx only, we can think of calculating the remaining quantities. First differentiate. Differentiate with respect to x, it is x cube becomes 3x square and 3 into 2x minus 9 into 1, 7 being a constant equal to 0. That is dy by dx would be equal to 3x square minus 6x minus 9. So I got the value of dy by dx. Now first part is over. Now come to the second part, the condition. You have to find the points at what point at which the tangents are parallel. So write the condition. See, since the tangents, you have to give the reason, simply don't take 0. Since the tangents are parallel to the x-axis, dy by dx is equal to 0. You observe in the previous problems, no, the point was given to you, isn't it? So when the value of x or theta were given, what did you do? After differentiation, wherever x and theta were there, we substituted those values. So we got dy by dx. So we wrote slope of the tangent or slope of the normal, whichever was asked in the problem. Here, the point is not given. That point has to be calculated. For that, no, instead of giving the point, some condition is given. That is, the tangents are parallel. Since the tangents are parallel to the x-axis, this reason has to be given. dy by dx equal to 0. Don't directly write the condition there. Now, what is dy by dx? This is, that is, you write 3x square minus 6x minus 9 equal to 0, Now, see, it is a quadratic equation. You are very much familiar with the solution of the quadratic equation. That's what we are going to find out here. Take out 3 as common factor. What is remaining? X square minus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. So, this into that equal to 0 means, see, 3 cannot be equal to 0. Therefore, you can equate the other quadratic part, that is x square minus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. That is, you write x square minus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. X square minus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. Now, what is the procedure? I hope remember that one. To solve a quadratic equation, there are two methods. One is factorization, the other one is using the formula. Factorization means the procedure is we see this number, the product of this and this we take, here it is 1 of course. So it is minus 3, okay, minus 3. You have to split the middle number in such a way, product would become minus 3, sum would be minus 2. So the number minus 3 has to be split like this. It is minus 3 plus 1. You observe here, minus 3 into plus 1 is minus 3. Minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2. So this will satisfy both the conditions. So if that is splitting it not possible, you can use the formula. What is the formula? X is equal to minus p plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. Here also you can use the formula, no problem. But when it is possible to factorize it directly, you better follow that one. So factorize x square minus 3x plus 1x minus 3 equal to 0. Grouping that one, x into x minus 3 plus 1 into x minus 3. Factorization means these two should be one and the same. Then only we call it as a common factor. X minus 3 into x plus 1 equal to 0. So we have done the factorization of the quadratic expression. Now, let us, therefore, what are all the values of x here? The values of x equate each factor to 0. So first one is x minus 3 equal to 0. The second one is either x minus 3 equal to 0 or x plus, when a product is 0 means either the first may be 0 or the second may be 0. Since we are solving the equation, we have to consider both of them are called as the roots of the equation. Therefore, here x is equal to 3 and here x is equal to minus 1. So what are these values of x? They are nothing but the x coordinates of both the points. So finding a point means you have to get the y coordinate also, for which when you have taken this, better given number for this. Okay. Now y is equal to something means when x value is given, you get one value of y. So y, that is the y coordinate of that particular point. When you give x equal to -1, we get another value of y, that is the y coordinate of that point. So, this is the given function. Substitute these values in 1, that is put x is equal to 3 and x is equal to -1 in 1. One by one we will do that one. First one, x is equal to 3. Y would be equal to, wherever x is there, you write the value 3. That is 3 cube minus 3 into 3 square minus 9 into 3 plus 7. Look here, it is 27 minus 27 minus 27 plus 7. This plus and minus, they get cancelled. Minus 27 plus 7 is minus 20. So, when x takes the value 3, y takes the value minus 20. Therefore, the coordinates of the first point are 3 and minus 20. Therefore, you can write the point to be in the formal form, it is 3 comma minus 20. This is how we write the coordinates of a point. Now, take the second one. Put at x is equal to -1, the second value. What would be y here? Y would be, wherever x is there, write the value. -1 the whole cube minus 3 into -1 the whole square minus 9 into -1 plus 7. Now, -1 whole cube is -1, -1 whole square is +1, +1 into 3 is -3, minus of minus plus 9 plus 7. So, it is -4, 9 plus 7, 16. 16 minus 4, that would be equal to 12. So, when x is -1, y is 12. Therefore, what is this point? It is -1 comma 2, 1 comma 12. Okay. So, the first point was 3 comma minus 20, second point was -1 comma plus 12. So, how do you write the answer? You write, we were asked to find the coordinates of the point at which the tangents are parallel. So, you need not write the whole sentence, you can just write the answer like this. Or you can write the full sentence also, no problem. The points at which the tangents are parallel to the x-axis are, first one is 3 comma minus 20 and the second one -1 comma plus 12. So, this is how you have to do the calculation. See again, these especially the problems on the application of derivatives, they are lengthy problems only, like statement problems. You have to write the answer in proper sentences here. So, here for a 1 mark question also, though we are calculating only the slope of the tangent and normal, we could see that we have to do a little bit of more of calculation, which was more for a 1 mark question, but there is no shortcut method. You have to show all the calculation even for a 1 mark question also. Okay. Now, we move on to another problem. Again, here also we are getting a point, but here the tangent is not parallel to the x-axis. Some other condition is given. Just now I told you, whatever may be the condition, it may be parallel to the x-axis, parallel to the y-axis, I had mentioned as a note here. The extreme case, the particular cases I had considered. It can be parallel to anything. It can be parallel to a card, parallel to a another given line, something like that. So, parallel means the slope of the other line and the tangent would be equal. Okay. So, using that one, parallel to the x-axis means we take dy by dx to be equal to 0. If it is parallel to some other line, you have to take the slope of the second line, equate it to dy by dx. So, read the problem correctly and understand, and then we can solve them. All these problems you can expect for a 2 mark question. Find a point on the curve. Find a point on the curve. Find a point on the curve. On the curve, y is equal to x minus 2 the whole square, at which the tangent is parallel. The tangent is parallel to the chord. Tangent is parallel to the chord joining the points, joining the points 2, 0 and 4, 4. Now understand the problem carefully. Finding a point or points, it is given for a 2-mark question only. Look here, a curve has been given to us. Now the tangent has been drawn at a particular point. How is the tangent in this case? In the previous problem it was parallel to the x-axis. So we took dy by dx to be equal to 0. Here the condition is different. A tangent has been drawn at some point on the curve for this particular curve. Okay. Now that tangent is parallel to the chord joining 2, 0 and 4, 4. So these are some curve we are having. Say some curve. Let us take this is the curve we are having. Now there is a point here. Figure is not necessary, just to make you understand I am writing. This is 1.2, 0 and this is the point 4, 4. I have not written x and y axis, generally I have taken. So let us take 2, 0 is a point on the curve and 4, 4 is a point on the curve. Now these two have been joined. So this is the chord, isn't it? Chord of any curve, need not be a circle, chord of any curve is a line joining any 2 points on the curve. Now at this point, let us assume a tangent has been drawn. You observe the tangent is parallel to the chord, isn't it? Now this is how the curve would be. So when the tangent is parallel, just now I told you the condition for parallelism, that is when two lines are parallel, their slopes would be equal to each other. So this line, the chord is passing through these 2 points. So you can get the slope of the line. Again we go to first year PUC analytical geometry. If a straight line passes through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then the slope of the line is given by the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. To get the slope there are 3 methods. One is when angle theta is given, m is equal to tan theta. Okay, that is what we have used in knowing about the geometrical meaning. M is equal to tan theta, that is the definition of slope and one formula. Instead of giving the angle theta, suppose 2 points on the line are given, then also you can get the slope. This is the formula, m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. There is one more method, we will come to that later when we need that one. So here the chord is passing to these 2 points, means you can use this formula to get the slope of the chord. First we will do that one, or you can differentiate also in the beginning. First we write it as slope of the chord passing through what are the points here? It is 2, 0 and 4, 4. 2, 0, 4, 4 is equal to y2 minus y1, 4 minus 0 divided by 4 minus 2, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what is the value? 4 divided by 2, that would be equal to 2. Okay. So slope of the chord passing through this point. So this is the slope of the chord. But what is given? The tangent is parallel to the slope. Now write given the tangent is parallel to the chord, parallel to the chord, you write slope of the tangent is equal to slope of the chord. But what is the slope of the chord? It is equal to 2. Just now we have calculated. It is equal to 2. Therefore, you write the slope of the tangent is equal to 2. Therefore, what is the slope of the tangent? Dy by dx is equal to 2. So this is the ultimate thing we wanted here. We wanted to know the value of dy by dx so that we can find the point on the curve at which the tangent is parallel. So first you get the slope of the chord. Since the tangent is parallel to the slope, slope of the tangent is also equal to slope of the tangent equal to slope of the chord, therefore slope of the tangent also becomes 2. But what does the slope of the tangent? It is nothing but dy by dx. So dy by dx is equal to 2. You can give a number for this one, take it as 1. Now consider the function. Now take the function. Now that is, what is the function? Y is equal to x minus 2 the whole square, given y is equal to x minus 2 whole square. Now give it a number 2. Differentiate with respect to x, dy by dx. Now x minus 2 whole square, here the power is 2, you can do the expansion using the formula a minus b whole square also, or you can take it as a composite function and differentiate. So it is 2 into x minus 2. So that power has been taken. X square becomes 2x, x minus 2 whole square becomes 2 into the derivative of this is 1. That is equal to 2x minus 4. dy by dx equal to 2x minus 4. But what is dy by dx here? We have already calculated. In the previous problem, it was equal to 0 because the tangent was parallel to the x-axis. Here tangent is parallel to the chord. So the condition is little bit different, but there is some condition. That is, you write 2 is equal to 2x minus 4. Give the reference from 1. So take 4 to the left hand side. 2 plus 4 equal to 2x. That implies 2x equal to 6, or that is x is equal to 3, isn't it? We got the value of x to be equal to 3. What do you mean the x equal to 3? It is nothing but the x coordinate of the point. Since we are calculating the point here, you have to get both the x and the y coordinates, isn't it? Now write, put x is equal to 3 in result 2. If I have taken that as 1 in the beginning, I have taken it as 2. That is y is equal to 3 minus 2 the whole square, that is 1 square. That is y is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 3, y is equal to 1. Therefore, you write the answer. Therefore, the point has got the coordinates 3, 1. So in this case, we got only 1 point. In the previous one, we had got 2 points here. So in the previous problem, the condition was the tangent was parallel to the x-axis. So we took dy by dx equal to 0 directly. Here the condition was different. It was tangent was parallel to the chord. So first we had to get the slope of the chord. After getting the slope of the chord, we equated to slope of the tangent, and slope of the tangent is nothing but dy by dx. We got dy by dx to be equal to 2. And differentiating, after equating to 2, we got the value of x. After getting the value of x, we went back to the original function, substituting, we got the value of y. Therefore, we got both the coordinates of x and y. So this is the procedure we adopt. So today's problems, both 1 mark and 2 mark questions I have worked out. In the coming sessions also, I will be working out some more problems which may carry either 2 mark or 3 mark questions. They may be asked for 2 or 3 mark questions in the examination. So meet in the next session. Thank you.